Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Storytime Network's very own Paradox Hour. Today, as you can see by the lovely charcuterie board on I believe that's a charcuterie board anyway. It's a stock photo, so, take it with a grain of salt. So there's definitely enough sodium on that platter, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, intros. We're doing food tropes today. And it's just going to be our usual crowd today. It's Mill,
Hello.
Logstar.
Hello.
Jack's running a little late today, and which is good because hopefully he'll be able to sneak in without alerting the monstrosity in the corner, lurking with its ball of fluff and its horrible implement of stabbing.
Also known as Fuzzy.
We keep that on the DL. So, yeah. It's food, huh? I really should have eaten before we started our podcast today.
And meanwhile, I made the most filling meal I know how to make.
Also, remember, we can both make you hungry and ruin your appetite, so it's 50-50, right?
You know what? You're right. It could go either way.
Mm-hmm. I mean, personally, I hope it's, disgusted just because it's, it's midnight for me. I don't want to have to eat again. Otherwise, I'll be up for ages afterwards.
I mean, to be fair, food was invented to be eaten.
Mm-hmm. There's also the fact that if the Americans are still hungry after Thursday, then they haven't done their holiday right.
I don't think you realize quite how bottomless some of us can be.
True.
I absolutely realize that, but you still. Again, this is me talking from a personal standpoint of having Christmas dinner. Like, those meals fill you up completely for days afterwards. Like, certainly for the next day afterwards, I feel like I can't even, all I'll have is maybe a sandwich and probably some Christmas chocolate.
Go to entirely too many restaurants here, and just remember how many people do not take any home when they're done.
I never take food home when I'm done either.
Yeah, but I think that might just be because where you live, you just get a reasonable amount of food.
Whenever I've been to America, I have never taken food home, and I've never left food on my plate.
No, maybe it's just that you get a reasonable amount of food.
Ah, okay.
Right? You have to remember, the logic is always there of, it all looks so good, I can just get a little bit of everything.
Why would you do that? Why would you not just stick to one meal?
Because, how have you been missing the point? Food. That's why.
I know, but when I go to, I pretty much just go to what is it, Denny's and IHOP when I'm in America, because A, I like to spoil myself, and B, I love milkshakes. I always get I have been to Chinese buffets in the UK. Those were very nice. I can't say I got much actual Chinese food because I'm a picky eater. So.
Just watch people coming back from the buffet. It's kind of like, let's just say I'm surprised Matt Stoney is still champion. Well, he might be second or third, but I'm surprised he's even up there given some of the stuff I've seen at buffets.
For those not in the know, Matt Stoney is one of the world's most terrifying competitive eaters. Terrifying because Well, if you don't know why I say that, then you clearly haven't seen Matt Stoney eat.
I assume a judge tried to stop a meeting one time, and he just kept going, and the judge lost a hand.
That might be a safe assumption. You know what? You know what else is like crazy? There's this Japanese YouTuber named Kinoshita Yuka. So she is a very petite, thin Asian lady who regularly eats obscene quantities of food. Like, I'm talking, she will eat like something in the neighborhood of like 100 pieces of fried chicken in a sitting or something like that.
Fucking good metabolism fucks.
No, no, she literally just has a medical condition.
But
Still, like,
I'm jealous.
she's managed to leverage that into a career in which she just puts up videos of her eating like entire like apartment buildings worth of people of food. Right? Like regularly packing away excess of 10 to 20 pounds, so like 5 to 10 kilos of food per sitting. Which I'm pretty sure is like a whole number fraction of her total body weight.
Doesn't mean I'm not jealous to be able to, eat whatever you want and still stay thin.
Oh no, I absolutely would like. I would probably not quite sell my soul for it, but there's a lot I would sell for that ability.
You have no idea how jealous I got in high school of the people who literally bought like half a sweets shop of stuff from the ice cream vans and ate it themselves. Meanwhile, me, who literally had to exercise every day for rugby and still didn't get any thinner.
Yeah, I knew people who would.
It's sort of why I sort of don't see the point in exercising, because I know that I won't get any thinner just because
a
of my
lot of it comes down to genetics. Like
genetics.
I knew a few, both men and women, well, boys and girls in high school. One stood out to me though, is like she was a tiny female individual, like maybe 5'4", would absolutely pack away the poutine. And for those of you who are not aware of what poutine is, it's French fries doused in gravy and melted cheese curds.
I'm surprised more Canadians don't have heart attacks.
Yeah, apparently they've just built up a genetic immunity because it's like poutine was a staple food, and so many of the people who would just eat massive quantities of poutine and junk food just like looked like models.
I don't understand it. I really don't.
I just like forget the whole cancer and like immunity and stuff like that. Just like gene mod me so that I can eat whatever I want and like stay healthy.
What's this about gene modifications?
We're talking about the people we hated in high school who could eat whatever they wanted without gaining any sort of weight whatsoever.
Oh, yeah, no, that's... yeah, that was...
Those
fun.
fuckers, yeah.
The thing is, I could do that when I was exercising regularly, but I cannot do that anymore. And, it infuriates me.
Now you know how we feel!
Hey, I was in a sport in high school. I actually
played rugby.
So was I. I literally had training 4 days a week and matches on Saturday and Sunday, and I still didn't get thinner.
Hey, I gained weight too. Okay, I gained weight consistently throughout high school. Like that was not the thing.
Also, Jack, are you familiar with Kinoshita Yuka?
Who?
She is a Japanese YouTuber whose whole thing is that she is a very thin, petite Asian woman who eats large quantities of food. By
What the hell
large
is her
quantities, I mean,
metabolism made of?
oh, no. I mean, like, we're talking in the neighborhood of 100 pieces of fried chicken in one sitting, or something like
The
that.
fuck?
So
How
she
did
has a
she do
medical
that?
condition?
Okay, I just need to ask. When she's done, do you see her, like, just stand up and her stomach's just, like, way out and you're going, oh my god, this is body horror material?
I don't know, but I don't think she's ever done that. But I kind of don't want to know.
Well, yeah, I've seen that for Matt Stoney, and it's mild body horror, because it's the internet, you know? There's worse body horror out there. Much worse.
See, body horror is always a fun thing to talk about. But let's not talk about it in the context of food, shall we?
I mean,
No.
food is not universally a good thing.
Who doesn't eat food?
Yeah, but everyone who has eaten food either has died or will die.
Yeah, but same with everyone who's ever drank water or everyone who's ever breathed air. Life will
Right?
kill you,
So
fuzzy.
many things that we like just consume out of hand are actually direct correlation to death.
And now you're reminding me of David Mitchell getting angry at the insinuation that bread is bad for us.
Oh,
I mean,
oh no.
anything
Oh.
is bad for you if you have it in too large of a quantity.
Yeah, but white bread is like particularly bad for you.
Yeah,
Nah.
I try to stay with whole grain, to be honest.
I
I mean,
don't.
bread in general is kind of not great for you.
Don't care.
Bread is good. It tastes good.
Yeah,
It's
that's
very
the
nice.
problem. Bread wouldn't be a problem if it tasted bad.
Well, the other thing is, like, bread is kind of a huge ingredient in a lot of things like sandwiches and hamburgers and a lot of other things
I mean,
like that.
that's the thing. Staying healthy wouldn't be so hard if the stuff that was good for you actually tasted good,
Yeah.
and stuff that was bad
No,
for
no,
you
no.
tasted
To be fair,
bad.
I will not have this slander on our podcast. The stuff that tastes good, the stuff that is good for you, can taste just as good as the stuff that's bad for you. You just need to put more effort in, and that
And
is
also
really
a
the
shitload of
sticking point.
seasoning. Shitload of seasoning.
I mean, if that amount of seasoning is what you consider a crap load, you just under-season your food on a regular basis. I'm sorry to say.
Oh no, I
I barely
lot.
season my food at all.
Yeah, I mean, you know the rule, right? It's like, just take what the recipe calls for spicing and throw it out the window entirely and just keep going.
I'm not having a proper thing of scrambled eggs unless it has 3 different seasonings on it in a full-on layer across the damn thing.
That's how you play
I
it.
don't season my scrambled eggs at all.
Why though? Scrambled eggs
Mill,
dull and
your
boring
British
without
is
any
showing.
seasoning.
Didn't your people go to war over spices?
No,
And then
thing
they
with
were
the
all too
British,
spicy for us.
exactly. They plundered the world searching for spices and summarily decided, nope, too spicy.
Like,
Exactly.
people died so that your people could have spices, and this is how you repay them?
We're dicks. We are dicks.
Yep, that fact is very much abundantly clear.
Hey,
And saying that also reminds me of another food-related thing involving David Mitchell, which is again on QI. I think the question was, why didn't the giant tortoise get a scientific name until like years after it had been discovered? It was because they kept eating them on the way back.
Oh, that's just mean.
I like they just did a whole thing of just like, okay, so we'll have all this entire pile to eat, and then we'll just leave one left, and just then they eat the one that's left and just go, we are dicks, we are twats.
Problem, like, that would be fine if they at least developed some sort of self-awareness of it, but they didn't. They just kept
Not
doing
until the
it.
modern day.
I mean-
Not until the modern day.
you can be self-aware and just keep doing it. I mean, come on. There's a reason.
Yeah,
Apparently
that's what I mean,
that's-
is like,
But there's a
if you at
reason.
least stopped doing it, then it would
Apparently,
be
that is
okay.
just how delicious the giant tortoise is.
But I mean,
They just couldn't stop eating it.
there's a reason I'm in this picture and I don't like it as a meme, okay?
Yeah.
Oh.
But then there was another one like Captain's log. We have becalmed and there is one tortoise left. Oh, how tasty it looks!
Oh, no.
You know what's funny? Different topic, but you know how there's always that one person who orders like this huge ass meal of just like the ultimate greasy stuff, and it's like, and I'll also have a salad on the side, or I'll have a Diet Coke too. It's like as if that'll mitigate the unholy artery clogging mess that is the rest of their order.
Yeah, it's like
Mhm.
it's like as a kid I'd see that on in cartoons and be like, "Ha ha, that's so funny." Then you realize people actually do it and it's like suddenly it's not funny anymore.
Oh no, for me it just loops back around to being hilarious again. Just because of how the utter lack of self awareness from those people.
Yes, as I sit in the IHOP, I will laugh at them as I drink my milkshake.
Does it bring all the boys to the yard?
I don't know. There's the IHOP and the Denny's I go to in LA never seem to be that packed,
Just remember,
except
No, I
on
mean
the
the
last day of the
milkshake, Bill.
convention.
The milkshake. Does the milkshake bring all the boys to the yard?
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, I assume not because, as I said, there wasn't that many people in the IHOP where I bought the milkshake. So clearly, the milkshake wasn't bringing people to the yard.
That is unfortunate. It's supposed to do
Mm.
that, but I don't know why it didn't work.
Yeah, no, sometimes the song lyrics lie to you. I don't know. I don't understand why they do that. It's just rude.
And now thinking of that song is just making me think of the fucking the mid-credit scene to Dodgeball.
Oh my god, yes. I love that
Oh, was
movie
it the
so
one
much.
with Ben Stiller and pizza?
Yes.
Mm.
That movie has both aged well and aged badly in very different ways.
Yeah, no, that movie is
Mm.
an enigma. That like it can't the sort of thing that can't happen except by accident.
Mm-hmm. It somehow
yet
works
it's
and
the-
doesn't
it's the-
at the same time, and that makes it work better somehow.
And it's the first media property I watched that had an actual bisexual in it.
Yeah. It's weird. And a funny thing with that too is it actually went with a polyamorous ending for characters, which is like, the fuck? This was 2004. What?
Yeah.
Dodgeball was 2004?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh God,
it was.
I feel old.
So do
I
I.
can feel the arthritis setting in live.
Oh my
That's not that bad. The one that really makes me feel old is knowing that Scrubs is like 20 years old now.
fuck.
Considering how much of my childhood I spent watching that, like that makes me feel genuinely old.
Anyways, back to food.
yeah, back to
I
if
mean,
you were
so
at
just
IHOP,
to
you
give
know?
you a
Back to if you were at IHOP.
I mean,
And
okay.
you weren't dumping boys
Okay.
that whole bit of
Okay.
boysenberry syrup into the milkshake. You did it wrong.
What?
Well, I mean, just
Did you repeat that? I talked over you.
well, yeah, but just need to remind you, just with the shake from before, if you weren't dumping like the whole thing of boysenberry syrup in there, that's why it didn't do anything.
I disagree. I believe it's the IHOP milkshake is the closest I've come to my pinnacle of milkshake, which is the one that I got. It was actually called a thick shake that I got in Australia from a franchise called Donut King, and I have searched. That was back in 2014, I believe, and I have searched since then to find a milkshake that measures up, and nothing has yet. IHOP and Denny's come close, but they do not reach that pinnacle.
Dang.
So if you're in Australia and you see a Donut King, get a fucking thick shake. It is the greatest milkshake I've had.
So, on the subject of Mill's fondness for the thick, and this is also tying into Mill's homework for this, Why do you think food and horniness is so often conflated?
Don't know.
Really, you're just not even gonna discuss it? You're just...
Sex sells, so they want you to associate sex with food.
That's my guess too. Unfortunately,
like,
it tends to not work because people tend to just like, oh hey, sexy model, and then they just completely forget what was being advertised.
Isn't it?
Oh, yes and no.
Like, I think it's more one thing. It's like, I mean, you don't get much more primal than like sex and food. It's like you're there. That's like the simplest it gets. You can't go anywhere past that.
Yeah.
It appeals to the primal part of the brain.
Mm-hmm.
It is the crystallization of humanity's basest instincts. You're right about that.
But yes, the reason why that is a topic is because I chose to do this. I was not assigned to do this. I chose to do this. I chose to read, not all, because I couldn't get through that, most of Food Wars, aka Shokugeki no Soma.
Oh yeah, that's the fun
I
one.
still am just like, why would you put yourself through this?
And hot take, Central wasn't that bad.
Okay, now
I agree with
look
you on
here. We're still early on in our channel's lifespan. We don't need to like go into the really controversial topics yet, right? Okay, let's at least like...
Hot take, Central was actually kind of enjoyable.
I
No,
agree
please,
to
It was
a
a
point.
food-based tournament arc. It was
No,
fun.
please, the
It
algorithm.
was dumb because the principal, the dean or whatever the fuck his name was, could have just like expelled them on the spot without having to go through all of that. But it was still fun. I got more of my boy Takumi, whatever the pronunciation is. The elder Aldini.
Look, you're British. We don't expect you to respect the proper rights and pronunciation of the natives
Yes,
anyway.
but I had to go through a seminar of Japanese history and listening to people butcher Japanese names, including the lecturer. I am going to try and get names right as much as possible.
So, I still think that for all that people are ride Food Wars' proverbial sausage, I still think that the only reason it's more popular than stuff like Yakitate Japan is because it made people horny.
Oh,
the artist for Food Wars was a former porn artist, so make of that what you will.
See,
and
no,
yet he was
I've got a bone to pick, but that's for a separate episode. That's for the horny episode.
And yet he was surprised when people got annoyed that he didn't confirm the main ship in the manga.
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
Look, Food Wars is one of those series that is bad but popular. Are we going to dispute that or no?
It's trashy. I wouldn't necessarily say bad. It's trashy, and the ending is horrific.
Those two mean the same thing to me.
Spot. It's too over the top to be, in any normal territory, but it's not far enough to come all the way back around, which I've honestly thought about, and that's its own thing.
Mm-hmm. It hasn't. It's not like a cross the line twice thing to the same degree as like some other series might be considered.
Oh yeah, I think that series needs to cross the line twice. I really
at
think
least.
That.
But
also, just while we're on the topic of Food Wars, for this I read the Reddit online, but I have got a couple of volumes of it, and I did read one of them on a plane, which was awkward to say the least.
Why did you do that?
Because I bought it, I wanted to read it, and it is fucking like 11-hour flight from the UK to Los Angeles. I have nothing to do but read.
Oh,
So I decided, and I bought the Food Wars volume, so I decided to read it. But then I thought, oh wait, this could be awkward. I'm gonna have
you
to
could
hide
have
most
just
of
like.
these pages.
You could have just joined the Mile High Club subreddit. I'm sure you would have found someone on the flight. I feel like
that.
But you'd have also
I feel like that would have been a.
You'd have also found someone. No, you probably shouldn't tell them about the Food Wars, because then if you did find someone, you probably wouldn't want to join the Mile High Club off of them.
You know what? That's a good point.
fair.
But basically, I'm saying random, possibly dangerous booty call, probably a better use of your time than Food Wars.
I could
Really
not.
depends.
I could not join the Mile High Club. That would set my anxiety off so much.
Also, like, we're way off topic right now.
We are.
Yeah, but again, when are we on topic, Jack?
More
Are we
often
ever
than not,
on
actually.
topic?
More often
We
than
do
not,
try.
surprisingly.
But
Anyway,
like-
so favorite meal. Let's start with that.
no, I
Ooh,
was gonna. No. It's too easy. Favorite cheese?
Cheddar.
provolone.
Ma-
Again, Mill, you are continuing to have the most stereotypically British answers here.
Mild
Are you
cheddar.
Are you sure?
I mean,
Yes. Are you sure cheddar isn't too flavorful for you?
I buy two types of cheddar. I buy mild cheddar to actually just like eat normally, and then I buy very mature cheddar to cook with.
Yeah, I'll go basic bitch on this one too. It's basically the sharpest cheddar I can find.
See, the thing is, at least it's sharp.
See, I favor between provolone and Swiss, which are good, but not as stereotypical as cheddar.
I'm
I
gonna
actually
hit you
don't
with
like cheddar all that much.
I'm gonna hit you with a less common one. I think. I really,
Gouda?
really dig camembert.
Ooh,
I have not heard of that one.
It's a soft cheese in the brie family. It's like
Mm.
it's like
Ah.
it's like the camembert to brie is like provolone to cheddar, right? It's like if brie is the basic soft cheese option, camembert is probably the more niche variation.
I see.
It goes surprisingly well with Dr. Pepper.
Nice.
Also, while we're on the subject of cheese, I once had a Pokemon save where I named all my Pokemon after cheese. I believe Pikachu was cheddar, and I've played a D&D session with a cheese board. It was fantastic.
That sounds amazing.
I'm just like, I am ambivalent on the Pokemon thing, but I just kind of hate you. I'm so jealous. I've never had a cheese board.
It was genuinely enjoyable. Like,
I've never had a cheese board, and I like. It's not gonna happen anytime soon either, considering global pandemic and all that.
No, it was genuinely amazing. Like, everyone was happy with it.
All right, here's another one. Then.
Everyone took part. Right.
Favorite deli meats.
Hmm.
Since we talked about cheeses, it's only natural that we followed up with deli meat.
Probably some kind of like really spiced salami or something like that. I don't touch that too often, but there we go.
I've always been a fan of
I'm gonna
ham, but I do tend to like honeyed ham or smoked ham the most.
I'm gonna have to go basic bitch and say some really, really nice, like proper ham.
Ham isn't basic.
I
Ham
mean-
is just like it depends what kind of ham. If you're just getting like the standard ham, that's one thing.
You haven't bought ham from where I buy when I went through my like massive proper ham phase. Like Jesus, that ham was so good.
I mean, I do not think I have consumed deli meats in the past. Trying to do the math on this. 11 years?
Holy shit.
Yeah, I don't really have an answer for this one because I do not consume deli meats for reasons
Okay.
that should be clear to
Favorite-
people who know me.
Oh, right.
G-
Okay.
Favorite
Yes,
pasta. Favorite pasta.
That's
the bows. I don't know what the name is, but the bows.
They
Oh,
have a
bow tie
really
pasta?
like the bow tie pasta have a really fancy Italian name that they really don't deserve.
That sounds
Let me
about right.
search it.
I think everything in Italian just sounds fancy by default.
Mhm.
Farfalle. That's what it is. Farfalle.
What are the So I'm kind of torn. I like the clamshells, but I also really like fusilli,
Mm.
which is the twisty ones.
I like those a lot, but also my favorite is
It's like
probably
here's the thing about
Raviolini.
Oh,
And of course, Fusilli just goes back to Seinfeld. I mean, you have to know that one, right?
Mm.
Kramer making...
Never watched Seinfeld.
Yeah, I just remember Fusilli will always be to me Kramer making, like, pasta sculptures, and Jerry's was Fusilli because he's silly.
That sounds just unfunny enough to be a Seinfeld classic.
hmm.
So no, because like here's the thing about pasta. Pasta is a vessel for the sauce and meats.
I think you
True.
just offended so many Italians with that one.
Yeah, but I'm not Italian, so you know
Yeah, neither
I'm
am I,
allowed.
so, you know.
Yeah.
The thing is,
So-
the shape of the pasta doesn't really affect the flavor all that much.
No.
Because like
Unless you have like
It
a
is purely
really
aesthetic.
refined palate.
It is purely
like-
aesthetic.
okay, no, we need to make because Jack, I think you may have said ravioli, right?
I do like ravioli and tortellini quite a bit.
So no, I think we need to make a division between smaller pastas and larger pastas.
Right, those are stuffed pastas.
Yeah, because like tortellini, ravioli, lasagna, big tubes that I don't know what they're called. The big
I'm
penne.
gonna make a confession. I've never been able to eat lasagna.
Really?
You've never been able to, or you've never had the opportunity to.
I've had it made for me, and I just don't like it. I don't understand why. I like all the components in it. I should like it. I just don't.
That's weird.
I know.
Like, what about it is like what about it is a turnoff to you?
Maybe the sum of the parts?
Okay, I'm going to. It's not exactly a secret, but I am physically incapable of actually eating most fruit and veg. Like genuinely, I will start to retch and throw up.
That's weird. That's unfortunate.
Is it an allergy thing or a
I
genetic
don't
thing,
know.
or-
I'm fairly sure it's not an allergy because I used when I was like a small child, I would apparently eat fruit and veg happily. Just at some point, my body started to reject it, and I don't know why.
And that can happen. Yeah, it can be like puberty can bring
I
that
don't-
sort of thing on.
Like I don't know if I had some sort of like traumatic incident involving it.
That
or
is
what.
also a possibility. Yeah.
I don't know, but it's just something that like I can, and it's not even like the flavors. It's just the like the textures and knowing that I'm actually eating like a piece of the fruit or veg, because like I can, I can eat stuff with tomato sauce on it, and it's just very very weird.
Ah, okay. So it seems like there's something psychological at play there then.
Very possibly, yes. Almost certainly, in fact. But I
Most
just
likely.
don't know what it is. And, I don't know how to combat it, and I would rather not, experiment and have to keep retching and throwing up. So, but part of what it might be is that I'm fairly sure. Certainly, the last time I had lasagna, the tomato was not like properly
Blended into sauce form.
blended, pureed, whatever you want to call it. So that was very much not a help.
Mind if I just throw something out to put this slightly more in the tropes direction? See where it goes?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Characters in spicy food. Discuss.
Oh, you're right. Because, like, there's the whole. Sometimes characters love spicy food. Sometimes they breathe fire when they eat spicy foods. There's a lot to mine there. Like spicy food has this sort of very interesting place in the human collective unconsciousness.
Yeah, no, you either love spicy food or you hate it. There's very little in between with it. Like some people have a tolerance to it, but they don't really do all that well with it.
I mean, tolerance only goes so far with that one, too, as much as people want to pretend otherwise.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah,
I can barely tolerate even really mildly spicy stuff.
Yeah, just to compare, I mean, I'm not great at it, but my go-to ramen is the Samyang 2X, you know that one?
Nope.
It's
Not
the
familiar with
ramen that people make YouTube videos about dying
Yeah,
to.
the Fire Noodle Challenge one. Yeah, but basically, as I've done that, I'm gonna just throw out a little something. Family sometimes sends little things, spicy food things. There was one clip they sent. It was actually from Teen Titans Go, which I've seen 5 minutes of, and it was the 5 minutes they sent me. I found that one kind of interesting, because you had, there were a couple characters who were just, basically their tolerance just kept going up, and they were just trying to find the next high. Then you had, I think, Robin would put, a tiny amount of salt in something, oh, it's so hot, all of that.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
That's absolutely something Robin would do.
yeah, and of course it had to end with most of the characters going too far and getting this pepper from the nether or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and it's going through this whole montage of trying to find the remedy for the nether pepper of some sort, because they just went too far. Hey.
Oh, that sounds like an actual good joke from Teen Titans Go. What is this?
Yeah, I don't. As I said, those were the only moments I've actually seen from the show. But
believe me, that is the exception, not the rule.
Oh, I'd assume as much. But yeah, I mean, if you've had real things, hey, if you've ever done a spicy food challenge, you kind of know where that scene is coming from.
There is the risk of I think the idea of calling it a high is pretty appropriate, because it is kind of just it makes sense. It is basically it serves a similar purpose in your brain, right? With how the chemistry works out in your brain is that there's something about the adrenaline rush and the feeling of danger and the associated chemical releases from it that just kind of drive, it just makes you it basically triggers the hindbrain, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, all in fact,
Monkey brain triggers the monkey brain.
It might even be more than that. It might trigger the lizard brain.
I mean,
Ooh.
it's all on if it actually does it at the time or not. I've had that happen to me once, and I was basically high as shit. I was like, just and the family's looking at me like, what the hell is this? Because yeah, the rest of the time it's just been horrifying, horrifying pain, and do I have to call a hospital, or actually just straight up drinking the cup of ranch dressing in front of an entire restaurant or something like that. So yeah, other characters, spicy food, go!
Oh god.
Yeah, y'all got any other things that stood out to you with regards to spicy food?
Well, I mean,
it's always funny
as it's depicted in fiction.
It's always funny when they like Larkster mentioned, when they show like the stereotypical white dude just like getting the same reaction out of just a tiny hint of pepper or salt that everyone else gets out of like ultra mega ghost peppers, because it's like fairly true to my experience at least. But at the same time, like it's just funny to see it exaggerated to such levels.
The problem is, it's not exaggerated. It's not even slightly exaggerated. That's the worst part.
I mean, I'm not that bad, but like if something is even mildly spicy, like I said, I can't handle it very well.
I mean, I've met the people where it's like that's it's kind of like with the Diet Coke thing. When you see the real thing, it's like that's not supposed to be how it works. That was supposed to be a joke.
Yet somehow it's not.
Hmm.
Oh, I know it's something different to talk about, but you guys go ahead and say your things.
Well, the first character that comes to mind from Food Wars in terms of spicy food is Terunori Kuga,
Oh
the
God, Kuga,
8th seat,
I remember.
who literally the main character Soma faced off against him unofficially in a festival arc, basically. And people just kept going back despite the fact that their mouths were getting burned to shit by Kuga's food.
Mm-hmm.
I
Which,
mean,
again, is...
knowing that series, I bet it wasn't just their mouths that were burning, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh God.
Look, I always have to make it gross. You know this.
You don't have to. You choose to.
Yeah, but like, it's what I'm here for.
I know that's probably the
Anyways.
invitation to top it, but I'm not going to right now.
Anyways, so a couple of tropes I do want to talk about. First of which, oh boy. First of which is the classic food fight, which is just like,
Oh.
what's your favorite food fight in fiction? Like your favorite scene where the characters just have a food fight? Because mine is in Ruby season 2, which is
So-
just like they actually use the food as weapons.
So, I'm gonna ask a related question. Do food fights actually happen?
I have never once been in a food fight.
Yeah, I'm not convinced food fights are a real thing that exist.
Well,
Might be amongst children, but I don't know about like or their like actual like event type things. But like a spontaneous food fight breaking out, I don't think I've ever heard of that happening,
yeah,
to my knowledge.
Yeah.
elementary school, I remember there were a couple, but basically you have like 5 or 6 people and everyone else is just sort of like, nope, just nope, not being a part of this. So yeah, it's not one of those all out things where everyone's like throwing shit all over and everything splatters and somehow it finds its way like to the outside of the windows, even though the windows are closed. Wasn't anything like that. It's just like 3 things get thrown, lasts about 5 seconds, that's it, you know. And most people are just watching like, no.
Yeah, that seems about right to me.
I'm trying to remember a food fight scene that I remember. I believe it was from a manga. I can't remember much from it other than that at least one of the participants apologized to a member of staff. I don't think it was at a school. I think it was at a rich person's house. I can't remember what series it was from.
I believe I should probably mention Community. I believe there was at least one food fight in that series, but knowing that series, probably more than one.
Honestly, like food fights are fun and all, but like, I still need to watch Community. God damn it!
It's
And
also,
we can't
but it's
talk
just
about food
like
fights without mentioning food fights. The movie.
I
That
have
abomination of a film.
I have not watched
I
it. I feel
have
glad
also
that I
not
haven't.
never watched it, and nor do I plan to.
I have never watched the full thing. I've seen clips of it though, and they have scarred me.
Wait, was that one that technically at the time didn't get released and it was like later on or something? Was that one?
Yep.
That the one? Okay.
Yep.
So, would you like to share with the class what exactly it's all about?
Oh no. Oh boy. All right.
Just rip the band-aid off, Jack.
All right. It's a CGI animated thing that was done with a bunch of food advertising mascots, like as well as other product mascots like Mr. Clean. And it was had a bit of a troubled production for a long ass time. It started production way back in 2002, and it wasn't completed until 2009 and released until 2013 in America.
Jeez.
And it's had a surprisingly big cast, including Charlie Sheen, Eva Longoria, and Hilary Duff, as well as Wayne Brady and Christopher Lloyd.
I take it
But
this was back when those people had careers.
yes,
Just
Poor
check.
Charlie Sheen.
he is still winning. No, he's not. He is not. Anyways, but yeah, like
I feel like we need to clarify that Mill was joking.
I know.
We do not, in fact, pity Charlie Sheen in any way.
No.
I was joking a little.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it has a bunch of both real and fake food mascots, and it's really badly animated, guys. It's just uncanny valley shit. Oh, you pulled up some images, haven't you?
Well, no, I pulled up the Wikipedia page. They had to auction the film off to find somebody that would release it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, I know. I've seen clips of it, and it is horrendous. And it's just like, what kind of drugs were these people on when they made it? I need to know so I can never touch that shit.
Oh my god! The company that released this, Dross, was an insurance company that just tried to get back as much money from it as they could.
My god.
Huh.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, failure can sell. I mean, Zoe, come on.
True enough, but at the same time, I feel like it's a lot harder to do
Oh,
intentionally.
You know what's even funnier is that it was aimed at kids, but had a shitload of toilet humor and sex jokes, and it was basically like a wholesale plot ripoff of Casablanca, complete with the dueling national anthem scene.
Oh wow!
Huh. That's
And it's like
oddly specific.
Why? Yeah, I know. It's just like, why?
Going off topic for just a tiny moment. This is reminding me of Kangaroo Jack.
Oh God. We need to talk about we need to do a podcast about like old movies from our childhood that have just been like.
See, now all I can think about is that
I've never watched that movie. I had it on my shelf for a good decade, thinking that it was actually a movie about a kangaroo.
It's not. It's not.
I know.
Again, for those uninitiated, what is the movie actually about?
Basically, it was supposed to be this like really edgy teen-rated movie involving the mafia, but that didn't really do well in front of like test audiences. What did do well was a scene where somebody who was high came across a kangaroo that that like talked and danced. So they just made the kangaroo like a big part of the movie, or as much of a part of the movie as they could, given what they had already filmed.
It's literally only just plot wise. It's only just like a brief plot device that takes the MacGuffin and scrambles off with it.
But they marketed it as like the kangaroo was like the main character that could like talk and dance and everything, was like super cool, kids. But it was in the movie for like maybe 10 minutes at most.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, no, it's not fun.
But
I'm still looking for oh god.
I mean the food episode well, it's not so much a trope, but the food episode that I want to talk about is the again, I know I mention it a lot. It's because I fucking love this show. It's the Futurama episode where Bender tries to be a chef.
Oh god, that sounds like it'll work out.
And he challenges fucking Elzar to the iron cook contest.
I have no idea what that could be referencing.
Yeah, and it's a fantastic episode because like Bender meets Elzar's mentor, who teaches him how to cook. But Bender's like masterpiece meal at the end of his training literally explodes the guy's stomach.
Oh my god!
And the mentor gives, with his dying action, gives Bender this little vial of something to add to his cooking, and like it's initially set up well. At the end, it's the joke is that it's like, oh, it's just water. So what he really gave you was the confidence to believe in yourself. And the professor goes, yes, just ordinary water laced with LSD.
Yes, no, that makes sense.
That sounds like Futurama.
That tracks.
And the best part is that it makes sense because one of the judges was the fucking leader of the Harlem Globetrotters. I can't remember his name. But he literally describes Bender's food as, it looks kind of funky, but it tastes kind of funky, which makes sense considering it has fucking LSD in it.
Yep.
Yeah, nope, that tracks.
Oh,
that absolutely tracks.
What was the other line? Just I remember that episode, something like, "This has taught me that something about how even ugly things can be so beautiful." Something about that. I'm trying to remember the line.
Oh, Morbo, yeah.
Well, you can talk about this when we talk about Futurama.
Yes, we can.
Oh, you know what's fun? You know what's a fun one? Fun trope?
Mm-hmm.
When they showcase how strange and bizarre foreign foods can be.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
my mind immediately drifts to Temple of Doom and the dinner.
Oh, the monkey brains. That was probably like those movies were kind of like racist in general.
Oh, absolutely.
But that was one of the single most racist scenes in that series, and the fact that the poor villagers served them like something maggoty, and it's just like,
I really don't like Temple of Doom. I really
blatant racism. Yes,
that's probably my least Jones movie, including Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Man, the maggoty thing gets me though. It's like, can't you just get maggoty things in like Sicily? I think you know what I'm talking about.
Ah, yes, Kazumarzu. Again, for those who don't know what that is, Kazumarzu is it's not from Sicily. It's Sardinian specifically.
Oh, well.
And it's a Sardinian maggot cheese. It is exactly what it sounds like. They literally just put a bunch of maggots in the cheese.
Yeah, evidently.
Wow.
Or rather, they let. Go on, Logstar. You'll probably be able to describe it better than I can.
Well, basically, what I remember is, even though I didn't remember the place, is that one thing was just they were eating so much cheese it kind of got boring, so they figured just letting it go and letting the maggots grow was enough of a change of pace, and it's just become a traditional thing, even though it is. They give a special exception for food safety laws for that. I'm pretty sure that's still really under the table, isn't it?
Oh, it's still incredibly illegal on a federal level.
Yeah,
yes.
but one of the things is supposed.
It's one of those things where it's illegal, but they don't enforce it.
Yeah, and one of the things about it is, I think it's supposed to be like you're supposed to cover your eyes when you eat it so the maggots don't jump into them, something like that.
So there's actually two schools of thought. One is that they cover the cheese and allow the maggots to like kill themselves on the plastic wrapper or whatever. And another school of thought is that they like the crunch and popping sensation of the maggots like jumping out inside their mouths.
Jesus. I could never get into food with insects or arachnids in it. I just can't.
No, so like I don't object to the idea of like.
I don't object to the idea. I just don't like those foods.
Well, no, I could get down with some like cricket flour and stuff like that, right? Like
Oh, that
basic.
reminds me of the scorpion of lollipops.
Yeah, no. So I think there's a difference between insects as food on like a culinary level and insects as food on a shock value level. Right? Like so many foods are obsessed with the idea of the insects being the shock value food, but like you can make insects taste good is the thing.
True.
It's just it like requires you to actually like put some effort in.
I feel I would have the same reaction to eating insects as I do to eating fruit veg. My mind just would not be able to get over the fact that
Yeah, it might be just a psychological issue, but I think the important thing to realize is that probably like if it was depending on how it was prepared, you might just not even be able to tell it was insects, right?
Yes, if you could prepare it in a way that I didn't know I was actually eating insects, I might be able to
yeah. For
stomach it.
example, like one of the most common uses for crickets is to grind it up into like a flour sort of thing, and you can make burgers out of that. You can make meatballs out of that, and it just tastes like meat.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm thinking of now? Have you guys watched Snowpiercer?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
No, okay, I'm not going to say any more then. It's a bit of a spoiler.
I probably won't watch it unless
it's a good movie. It's a very good movie. You should watch it. It's just very dark.
I have my hands full with movies right now.
Right, my bad.
I mean, technically Captain America's in that one, so an argument can be made.
Yeah, it's Captain America's alternate timeline counterparts. Clearly. Yeah, no. Yeah, the thing is with the foreign foods with the weird ingredients is like it's almost always some weird animal that you don't expect to see in
and it's just usually just blatant racism. Yes,
like oh god, all the jokes about cats and dogs and Asian food are just like I've heard those jokes way too many times.
How do you feel about the way Brooklyn Nine-Nine does it with Boyle, Jack?
Oh god. Well, the thing with Boyle is a hardcore foodie. And he just likes all sorts of crazy shit. So it's more excusable with him.
Yeah, that's like I was thinking about it, like it does do the whole thing of he's a foodie, he eats all sorts of food and it's disgusting. But to be fair, some of the stuff that he does eat is disgusting.
Yeah. No, he just likes all sorts of weird exotic stuff. But it's not really a play for like racism or anything remotely like that. It's more like just
that's just more to point out that Boyle is weird.
Yeah, it very much is. It's more a statement about Boyle than it is the food, I would say.
Yeah, Boyle.
Yeah, I think that's how it's intended to be taken.
Shit. Like, there's plenty of foods that I haven't normally eaten that are just like not of American or European origin that I still like a lot. Like I've developed a pretty good taste for sushi and other Japanese foods.
Sushi is very
I
nice.
I do like a lot of I do eat burritos and tacos pretty regularly, and so yeah, it's like foreign cuisine. Ooh, yeah, KBBQ is really good. Ooh, ever eaten buffet style food?
You're gonna have to elaborate on that.
So, buffet style restaurants are basically where you pay a flat price to get in,
Oh
and
yeah,
then you
yeah.
basically
Oh
can eat
yeah, no,
as
that's
much as you
kind of
want.
Yeah.
I'd imagine that's
I thought
pretty
you meant
common.
like there's a specialized type of food that is
No,
used only in buffets.
No, most buffet styles do have like a specific kind of food they have. Like the
Like we
one place I
literally
used to go
spent
to
a
lot.
while talking about Chinese buffets at the beginning.
Yeah,
Really?
like my anime and tabletop societies usually got together and had Christmas meals at Chinese buffets. Very nice, very enjoyable.
My
In fact,
anime club.
the last one we went to was a Chinese and Indian buffet, I believe.
Ooh, interesting.
That's a pretty common overlap, actually.
Yeah, was it
Yeah,
the
no.
stuff that's like
My
cultural overlap too, or just like each side is it's considered separate?
I would say that it was like a sort of, I would say, U shape. And obviously on the far left side you had like the Chinese food, on the far right side you had the Indian stuff, and the stuff that sort of worked together and like was similar was in the middle. It was in like both types of food was in the middle.
Okay, so it did have like the stuff that like the Chinese food you'd get in India sort of stuff too. Yeah. Okay, cool.
I think so.
The fusion stuff, yes. I think that's.
Yeah. What was it? I
Your anime.
My
Club.
anime club actually went to Korean barbecue, to a Korean barbecue buffet style place a lot, like at least once per quarter. And I've been part of other social groups that have done that too. Like Korean barbecue tends to have a lot of buffet style places I found because it tends to lend itself well to that. With just like you have a grill in the middle and you cook your meats on it while you get all the sides served to you, and they work really well, I think.
I'm fairly sure we could only afford to go once a year.
Oh yeah, no, it was only usually once a quarter or so.
That said, as somewhat as expected, this episode has absolutely been more about
just food in general.
Just food in general, and I did expect that, and that's like honestly a good use of our time, all things considered.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very hungry is the thing.
This is Thanksgiving weekend in America. In
yeah,
the US,
no, it's
so
like
it felt appropriate.
Yeah, it's
Damn
Turkey Day for you guys.
And your holidays.
We had ours a while back.
Yeah. I'd apologize.
We don't have a day to give thanks because we have nothing to give thanks for.
I mean,
mostly because we stole most of the things that we could.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say if you consider
that's the thing. We used to be able to do that, but now everyone realizes it's stolen, and so we can't do that anymore.
Yeah, but if you think about the historical context of American Thanksgiving,
no.
England is in good company.
Yeah, but that's the thing. God. America is even less self-aware about its own history than England is. I say England very specifically instead of the UK.
So, politics moment, you guys could start celebrating Thanksgiving when we do, except more in the sense of thanks for going because we see you now.
I mean, yeah. Like, thanks for fucking off and not leaving us with you guys.
Oh yeah, because the Puritans and the Pilgrims are kind of
right. Yes,
well,
that makes sense.
I was more thinking just like everything now, but that's just.
Well, no, the Puritans and the Pilgrims were colossal religious zealots.
Yeah, as it turns out, starting a society based on Puritans and Pilgrims on top of an Indian burial ground, not going to turn out well.
Yeah, tell that to the people of actually, you don't need to tell that to the people of Massachusetts. They already know.
They know, and a lot of them just don't care.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason that's Lovecraft country over there.
Anyway,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm
Yes,
just
please
gonna
get us off
try.
this topic before we lose what little
Well,
viewership we have.
and just try and get us back onto food topics, rather than take the piss out of America topics, which we could probably
No.
make a
To be
podcast
fair,
out
that
of.
is always a
It to
good
be
time.
that time of year. Why don't we talk about Christmas foods? Like eggnog and gingerbread.
I
Gingerbread is not a Christmas food. It's an it's all year thing.
All
Yeah,
the-
but gingerbread men are specifically Christmas things.
You say that like I didn't get a gingerbread man from my local supermarket while I was in Liverpool every
Huh.
week.
Interesting.
and
Didn't know that.
Christmas food. You always have the magic of the horribly alcoholic eggnog, and I just imagine National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and Chevy Chase, like Clark Griswold, when things are going wrong, just taking this huge swig of that hopelessly potent eggnog. I just remember that scene. But Christmas Vacation.
Not gonna lie,
yeah.
I kinda hate eggnog.
I don't
Oh?
think it's really a thing in the UK.
Huh.
I'm still not sure what eggnog is.
It's nog
Uh,
that's made of eggs.
Basically, yes.
I'm not sure how you do it right, honestly. All I know is like the supermarket version and something that people just dump whiskey in until well past the point of a good idea.
I mean, that's what I do with eggnog and coffee because I don't like either drink without copious amounts of alcohol in it. Which means I just like alcohol more than I like the actual drink.
I was going to say, at that point, why did you just save yourself the money, not buy the eggnog or the coffee, and just drink the alcohol?
Because I had to try Irish coffee at least once. I needed to.
I mean, you didn't have to.
Yes, I did. I was in Ireland, and I'm Irish.
Yeah, but since when has that ever stopped anyone?
They wouldn't judge you for just drinking outright.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
true.
they would have that. It's more in theme to just drink without the whiskey, without the coffee.
Fun fact:
Yeah.
on St. Patrick's Day in Ireland, people tend to be. There are people who are straight up pass out drunk by noon.
That does not surprise
Again,
me.
that is like very in
Irish,
character.
yeah. I love Ireland. It's such a fun place.
On the subject of St. Patrick's Day, this didn't happen because of the pandemic, but the hilarious bit of scheduling that was putting my course's dissertation conference, so you have to give a presentation about your dissertation, putting that on the day after St. Patrick's Day.
Oh my god, how many people came in with hangovers?
Well, the conference didn't happen because of the pandemic. It got cancelled.
Right.
But if it had happened, it would have been so fucking hilarious.
There would have
St.
been a
Patrick's Day
lot
was
of
actually
hungover
the
people.
day
Yes.
the day before lockdown went into effect for me over in California.
Mm.
So I actually was at a St. Patrick's Day party where I got shit faced.
Mm.
It's such a lovely holiday.
But I mean, that's the thing. Like Liverpool, they don't take it as like seriously as Ireland, but it comes closer than most places.
Not Boston. Boston takes it hella seriously.
Yeah, because Boston is made up of part Irish people, isn't it?
Boston has an unusually large Irish population compared to most other big cities in America. So
basically, where the Irish rejects got sent during the 17th and 18th century.
Yeah, it's mostly Boston, New York, and Chicago where most of the Irish people went.
Mm-hmm.
And
I say rejects. I'm more meaning the ones who fled from the English's terrible potato managing.
Yes, Oliver
capabilities.
Cromwell and his shitbaggery.
Yeah, we should do a history podcast.
We should
at some point.
And just gets me.
We can call it hardcore history.
That sounds fun. Anyways,
I feel like we would get sued.
back to Irish stuff. I do like Irish stew because that's really good. Like stews and soups in general are really a really fun thing to mess around with because there's so much variety in how it's prepared and what ingredients you can toss in. You can do a hot pot, you can do a stew, you can do a soup, you can do a clam chowder, you could do gumbo. There's just so much variety with that kind of formula, you know?
Now that you've said chowder, all I'm thinking about is that Simpsons episode with the mayor's, I think it's nephew, and the waiter who, and the court case because the waiter got injured, let's say, and the nephew was blamed, all because the nephew got angry at the waiter saying chowder wrong.
See,
his
when
opinion.
I hear chowder, I just think of that one Cartoon Network show that was
Damn it!
like...
I knew you were gonna fucking bring that up, Tommy. I fucking knew it.
Why? Okay, why would I have been the one to bring that up specifically?
Because you tend to do all this weird word association shit.
That's lit. Okay, you know what?
I've been doing it all stream.
I wish I could do that better in actual therapy.
Anyway, getting off.
Back to
therapy.
soups and stews.
Oh yeah. Hey.
I mean, food is
You
a
guys
kind
have
of
a
therapy.
favorite?
Hey.
Do you guys
How
have a
good-
favorite?
Oh, whoa.
How do you
Irish
guys
stuff's
feel about
still- one Irish
emotional
thing-
eating?
One more. I'm just gonna throw this out there because you brought up like Irish food before. Okay, you know Dennis Leary has some Irish, jokes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember the one about Irish cuisine. Since it was something like, you just boil it for 20 hours until you can eat it through a straw. Like, that's not cuisine, that's penance. I just remember that entire skit now. It was kind of funny. I don't know Irish cuisine, but
Honestly,
it was kind of
most Irish
great,
stews are really thick. Like the broth and in general and the ingredients are actually really thick.
Wait, so
Have you had a
so,
shepherd's pie or a beef stew?
Wait a minute. So part of that is pretty accurate, though.
No.
I mean, if
Like
it's
drinking it through a straw? No.
well, I mean, not quite, but where it's like that probably takes a while to thicken things up that much, right?
No.
Huh.
When you get it, when you serve it, or when you have it prepped and ready, it's very thick. Like it's very
Get
rich.
more accurate jokes, Dennis Leary.
Thing is, like with Ireland, as with most colder countries, a lot of the native dishes there tend to be really thick and hearty and rich. So you tend to get stuff that'll keep you warm during the winter, or just during a cold spell. So that's why a lot of the soups and stuff the stews are very thick in Ireland. And that's why their the signature beer of Ireland, the Guinness, is one of the thicker kinds of beer. It's a stout.
Indeed, it is. That stuff is basically syrup.
Yeah, no, Guinness is definitely one of the thickest
And I haven't
kinds
even.
of beer I've had.
I don't even drink, and I know that.
Yeah. But anyways, I was asking, what's your favorite kind of soup or soup adjacent dish
Like,
that includes ramen and hot pots?
I really like beans of all types, and it usually ends up being some sort of like thick stew adjacent, like with the beans and the chicken and the just like simmer it with the spices and for a while. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Probably chicken and mushroom soup. Mushroom is one of those fruit/veg that I can actually eat and do actually. Really
I mean, it
like.
makes sense. It's neither of those things.
I actually really
fun
kind
guy.
of hate mushrooms. The texture is just
Interesting.
really weird to me.
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I do actually really like them. Like it plays into one of my favorite meals. It's carbonara.
See, my favorite soup/soup adjacent thing is a toss up between beef stew and chicken noodle soup. Because it's kind of hard to chicken noodle soup, you know.
I'm gonna throw fish chowders in there, not clam or like other like shellfish chowders because those would send me to the hospital. But fish chowders are good stuff.
I feel like you also can't really go wrong with chili.
Well, yeah, I mean that's better.
Does chili
but
count as a
I,
stew?
I didn't count that as along that line because I would have said that.
Fair enough.
But I also shouldn't talk about chili because you know I make abominations with chili. You know that one.
And
Oh,
now
God,
all I
chili.
think and all I think about when I hear chili is that Simpsons episode with the talking dog fox thing.
Mel, I think you watched too much Simpsons.
I mean, I definitely did because like I'm fairly sure I watched every single episode up to a certain point because like A, it was always on Sky One in the evenings, and B, there was always an episode at I think 6 o'clock on Channel 4. So I watched a lot of Simpsons as a kid, but I've also been I have also been going through the funny page, pages for Simpsons on TV Tropes the last sort of week or so.
Wait, they actually
See, that's
showed
your problem. You're using TV tropes.
they actually showed more than a few episodes of The Simpsons there. I mean, I know here usually it would be like they show like the same 8 episodes for like 2 years straight or something. They actually showed more than a few episodes.
Yeah, to be fair, this is over the course of like a decade and a half. So even
That makes
like
sense.
they did show episodes like they did repeat episodes a lot, but over a decade and a half, there's only so many times you can repeat episodes before people start chucking things at their TVs.
Oh, you'd think. You
Fair
would
enough.
think.
You would think, but even Sky was not willing to go that far, and it was genuinely like from something like 5 or 6 o'clock until 9 o'clock. It was either Simpsons or Futurama on Sky One.
Mm.
I will say, foods in general tend to be kind of potentially very divisive in their depiction in media, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because like
Sometimes you get food porn like in a lot of anime or in some fancy like George R. R. Martin stuff.
and it like it just like it ruins your expectations of foods when you see them in media a lot of the time, right? Because like no food is going to taste as good as it looks in some media properties, or as well as
No food is going to literally undress you the way it does in Food Wars.
I mean, maybe not immediately, but
Oh, I thought you were
I
going to
mean,
show like a
sometimes if you do
cannibalism
have something
joke.
spicy, you do feel the urge to take off clothing, if only because your body heats up that much. Like you do need to unbutton your shirt a little bit to let out some of the extra body heat, you know?
oh my.
I can't remember the last time I wore a shirt with buttons.
I have to wear it to work all the time, so
I think I managed to. I was able to stop wearing a proper button-up shirt when I was 16 in sixth form, and I took that and ran with it. And since then, I've pretty much only ever worn t-shirts, unless it's like an occasion where I actually have to wear a button-up shirt, like a funeral or something like that.
Yeah, I don't wear button-ups when I have to, by the way. But I shouldn't talk. I get a little more. I get a little more. What the hell is wrong with you? Why would you look like that every day? So shouldn't be talking.
I mean, you can talk about it. It's just that, like, sometimes people judge you for it.
Yeah.
We don't.
Anyway,
No.
For the record,
I
but,
think
like,
you would. I
no.
think you would right about now.
I mean, we don't know what you're wearing right now.
Hint: it includes a white tank.
oh, life feeder.
Yep.
Anyway, back to food. This is going to be an interesting, or this is going to bring up some interesting answers. Where have you gotten the best pizza?
Ooh, that would probably be at my local pizza place. They make really good pizza.
So, I've never had what you might call good pizza, in the sense that
What was the pizza you? Where was the pizza you most enjoyed?
I mean, I've exclusively had pizza from chain places, but there was one.
That's fine. That's fine. Just like
I will say, pizza is one of those things where you could probably get away with a lot, but I don't think it's. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I've all of the pizza places I've eaten from have been just okay.
okay.
I've never really
Need to
had
explore
pizza
more.
that makes me go, "Huh, this is life changing."
Mine, I'm gonna start by. Well, I never really had any New York cred anyway, but I'd throw it away with this one if I did have it, okay? You know the people who are like, well, I mean, you've got to be in the city to get good pizza. I mean, the water, all of that. You know that whole thing?
Yeah.
Those people can go fuck themselves. No, seriously, there's like a 300 or 400 mile radius around New York where you can get amazing pizza. I'm sorry. Like, no, you have to be in the city. It's like, no, you don't. Shut up. Okay, so yeah, place upstate, you know, great stuff, you know, just in the massive circle of good pizza.
Okay, I've got two. I've got one that was my local pizza place, a little place called Da Vinci's, which was genuinely just so artery clogging, but it was so nice, and I absolutely adored it. And I'm sad that I'm not I'm not able to get it anymore because I've moved away now. The other one, it's not that it was like amazing, but it's one that I want to mention because I really did actually really enjoy it. Was I was in Japan not this last summer, the summer before, and with a couple of friends, and one of them had heard that Japanese pizza was apparently better than Italian pizza, so we decided to get it one night, and we went to this little place, in a place called Kawaguchiko, and it was I think it was a prosciutto ham pizza, and it was just absolutely lovely. It really was, and I absolutely enjoyed the hell out of it. And I've not had Italian pizza, so I can't say. But what I will say is, on that basis, Japanese pizza is very, very good.
Oh, actually, I forgot to say my thing. Like the actual name of the place was place Giuseppe's, but also they also had the great wings.
Of course, it's fucking named Giuseppe's. Of fucking course.
Yeah, but there
Pizza
were no
places have like maybe a dozen vaguely Italian names that they are all just called.
They're either place pizza, or they're named after a person who is Italian.
Yes, but you did not
Like
hear
90% of
Yes,
them.
but you did
that
not
aren't.
hear Italian in the back. It was all Spanish.
Yep, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, like so the majority of the restaurants I go to in the Greater Toronto area, regardless of the type of cuisine, are mostly family-owned Chinese places.
Yeah. Oh, the
So the thing is, like in where I live, most restaurant chefs, to my knowledge, are Hispanic, and it's regardless if it's a Chinese place, a pizza place, or of course a Mexican food place. Like it's just what the demographics of the job are in Southern California for the most part.
I mean, I kind of didn't finish it because I was kind of going from one thing to the next. But that was also a place where it's like I might just put that one on top because it also the suicide wings I like so much. Even though the first time I had it, I got a dot of the sauce on my skin, and about 10 minutes later, I noticed I had a huge blister. So, yeah.
Wow.
Huh.
Jesus.
Yeah, I think they toned them down a lot after that.
Well then,
Well, you're a part of food history, so that's nice at least.
I'm didn't even know that was a thing that was possible. So
I didn't
Yeah.
either.
you know, the more you know, I guess. Wow, I'm still kind of trying to parse
Okay,
through that.
I'll ask another question then. Favorite meal you can cook yourself?
Chili.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a tricky one because I have
mean-
a decent amount of cooking ability. It's just
I usually do not cook for just myself, unless it's just like a pre-made meal or leftovers. Like, when I actually cook a meal, it's usually for multiple people.
Well, it doesn't have to be just for yourself, but just something that you can make. It's like not something that somebody else makes for you, or like you buy pre-made from a store or you buy in a restaurant.
so it's gonna vary because I can make a
It
lot
really
of
does.
foods. It just depends on what ingredients I have available to me.
Well, no, just the thing that you can cook.
No,
that
no,
you
no.
most like
That's
to
what
eat.
I'm saying is that varies day to day. Like I
Ah.
really like sometimes I make my portfolio is mostly in stuff like wraps and enchiladas and things like that.
Mm.
But I also enjoy a nice stew on occasion, things like that. I've experimented with pastas. I make decent fried rice. It's like it's kind of I'm all over the place. Is like it is almost exclusively dependent on
It really
what I'm feeling at the moment.
same with me. I can make like a good steak dinner or a good chicken dinner if I have the right ingredients and I
Mm.
have the time to prepare it. I do tend to like doing those kind of things, but I also enjoy making pasta every now and then. And sometimes you just want to make like burgers and hot dogs too, and I
Mm.
do that sometimes.
Oh,
So that's mostly summer
long
food.
since it's been so long since I've had a hot dog.
Really, I love hot
Yeah,
dogs. They're really good.
I know. I usually because they're pretty much one of the few things that are available. I usually have them at Anime Expo, but obviously didn't get to go this year.
Oh yeah, fucking
But
rip.
again, I mean they're
Oh,
fucking.
you know what? Speaking of Anime Expo, let's talk about like con food and
Oh no! Oh no!
I've never been to
and
a con, so I can't really
sports
speak
arena
to this.
food, sports arena food too, like sports stadium food.
Again, I've never been to either of those things, so I can't really speak to that.
Really? Well,
Yeah,
what about you?
No cons, and haven't really watched many sports either. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it to the two of you. Though, left to remind me, there's one trope I'm gonna bring up after this whole thread. So yeah, just remind me.
Oh, that reminds me, because this is related to the Confoods thing. Jack, what do you think is a Milky Way?
It's a chocolate bar
With
with nougat and chocolate shell, and I think. Trying to remember what else.
caramel?
Yeah, I think there's caramel in there.
That is wrong. That is a Mars bar.
That's what.
A Milky Way is just the nougat.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
Is this
why
one of
it's
the-
different in America.
Huh.
It was weird, and I bought the Milky Way the first time, thinking that I was gonna get like just the nougat, but then it had caramel in it. And it's not that I dislike what I consider Mars bars, not by any stretch, but it was just a surprise to see something like that that's different. Also, American chocolate sucks.
Oh yes,
Remember
it
that.
does. I will say American, and I don't know if it's as common in Canada. I don't think most Canadian manufactured and imported stuff uses the
This butyric acid thing.
yeah, or the what's it called? The corn syrup.
Hmm.
I don't think a lot
Yes.
of the
Mm-hmm.
American or the Canadian stuff uses high fructose corn syrup instead of actual sugar.
I will say there is a specific type of chocolate in America that is very good, and that would be the like the high end chocolate, like the
Oh
truffles and
no.
stuff.
Oh
The
no.
truffles.
What?
Oh god, thinking about chocolates may remember. So back when I was 15, I think, my school took me on a history trip to Belgium to see World War One trenches. And we got taken into the center of a Belgian town, and obviously Belgians famous for their chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
And we got taken to a chocolate shop, which obviously the faculty had some sort of deal and connection with them, because it had this whole thing, but like, so obviously, a whole basically sort of 50, 60 14, 15, 16-year-olds coming into this one shop. And so there was an offer where you could buy basically boxes and bars and you would get free gifts with it. And the guy running the shop had a fucking microphone on and was going, one bar, one box, one free gift. 3 bar, 3 box, 3 free gifts, and I just never, I can't stop laughing whenever I think about it. It's just so fucking hilarious. Obviously, that chocolate made it home.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, just the enthusiasm of this guy who has his shop full of high schoolers going, 2 bar, 2 box, 2 free gift in a Belgian accent.
By the way,
Oh,
if we're talking about candy, we do have to talk about Halloween candy and how.
Okay. So we've talked about favorites a lot. I want to go through the least favorites.
Let's talk about least favorite candy because I fucking hate
Yes.
candy corn. Candy corn is garbage.
I haven't had enough candy corn to comment on it.
Candy corn is disgusting.
my least favorite chocolate bar is one called the Bounty. I'm not sure if America has it.
Oh God, I was gonna bring up bounties actually.
I haven't tried those. My least favorite candy bar is probably Almond Joy because I hate almonds.
It's
but
coconut.
It's basically just a coconut chocolate bar.
Oh, I don't like coconut either. I'm not.
I don't like most types of nuts, to be honest. So
Weirdest thing, my least favorite. Bill's gonna hate. I have the feeling Bill's gonna hate me for this one. It's a UK classic. It's just purely a textural thing. I tried Flake once.
Blake.
Flake?
Flake. Oh, Flake. Oh, ooh.
Yes.
Now,
it's just like what? It's like what is that? It's like
Flakes on their own. Flakes on their own are. I like them, but they are horrific to eat because they are just a mess. Because they just crumble instantly.
Yeah, it's like, hey, let's just
stick them in an ice cream cone, though. Stick them in an ice cream cone, and they are fantastic because the coldness of the ice cream firms them up so they don't crumble as much. If you have a vanilla ice cream cone, then the chocolate plays well with the vanilla.
So you get the issue though, where it's like, let's just take regular chocolate and make it so it basically it's like if you made a, I don't even know it this it's like opening a flake or taking a bite. It's like opening up the bag of a vacuum cleaner in the middle of any given place. It's like, screw that.
It's Fragment City. It's Fragment City.
Speaking of ice cream, have you ever been into an ice cream bar and immediately felt the effect on your teeth and brain?
Oh,
like,
brain
it
freeze has
hurts.
happened before.
Well, no, not brain freeze. Like, it actually hurts after you bite into it.
The
because
nerve pain.
Yeah, it just fucks up your nerve pain. It just fucks up your
Yeah,
teeth
no,
nerves.
tooth sensitivity is a nightmare when
yeah.
it happens. Yeah.
Oh
It
god,
is,
it's
yeah.
just so awful. But it always happens when it's with ice cream.
I mean, that's
know,
what
the-
your
the-
tongue is for, brother.
Yeah, but
True. But I'm impatient.
the best way to get rid of brain freeze is to stick your tongue to the roof of your mouth and let it warm up. That gets rid of brain freeze quickly.
So, like, I've come to realize something.
Yeah.
I now understand just why so many people conflate food and horniness.
Why?
Because there's a lot of, like, look, you're gonna make me say it?
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of, like, usage of,
The same body parts.
yes, exactly. There's
Yeah.
a lot of body
Like,
parts in common, and
I've seen
talking
quite a few
about it
people.
is
Yes. The whole let's see how much of the banana you can fit into your mouth type thing.
Speaking of least favorite foods, bananas. Cannot stand them.
really.
Really?
Is this a
Most
texture
fruit and
thing?
veg I can at the very least be around. I obviously can't eat them, but I can be around them without wanting to throw up. Bananas, I can't even smell
There's
a
so
banana
many
without wanting to throw up.
jokes that I've avoided
I was gonna
making.
say, does
this
it trigger your
podcast?
gag reflex?
Shut the fuck up, guys.
Look,
I'm sorry, I had to. It was low hanging fruit.
look, there's so many jokes that I've could have made, but I didn't want to be a dick about it.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry, I had to.
I mean, you didn't
I don't
have
understand
to.
it, but just like I if I see somebody eating a banana near me, I have to back away and get out of the smell range of it.
Yeah, splash zone, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could have just taken the triggering the gag reflex joke further by saying no.
I think
I
it's too late
mean-
now.
Too late for that.
Yeah.
So,
I've already told them to fuck off. It's too late for me.
Yeah, just say what could have happened. What could have happened?
Yeah.
we'll put that in the notes for future reference.
For people watching the archive, rewind back to that joke and imagine I said no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yep.
So, I will say I kind of agree with Mill on the bounty bars.
No.
I have never had a bounty bar, so I can't really weigh in on that.
Genuinely, it is probably the most hated bar in England, in Britain.
Like, I feel like it's not just England. I feel like it's kind of a thing all over the world.
Wherever bounty is a thing, it is probably hated. Like, so you get those collections of different chocolate bars based on what brand makes them, and the one the bounty is in, the bounty like you can you get it like a box or a tin of them. At the end, there will always just be a sad layer of bounties at the bottom of them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
See, there's always like that one candy in a bag of Halloween candies that gets neglected. Usually in America, that's the almond joy because not a lot of kids like almonds or coconuts. Like you see, like those Hershey packs with the Hershey's, Three Musketeers, all that stuff, and no one picks the almond joys. It's always everything else in that pack. Like,
yeah,
the first thing to go is always the Reese's cups, though. Those go fast.
Rockstar, what's your where do you stand on all that?
I mean, Almond Joy, I'm sort of like, seems like at least somebody older is gonna eat those. They're not Tootsie Rolls, where it's like, Those
Oh god,
where it's like
Tootsie Rolls.
those. I think the people who eat those tend to be like 55 and up, mainly. So those aren't gonna. Those are just gonna. Oh,
How much of food do you think is a generational thing?
Oh, there's a lot of that there.
Well, yeah, I know, but like in the sense that like especially something like what's it called? Especially the more divisive foods, I feel like a lot of that division comes in from a generational point of view. How do where do you what do you guys think about that?
Hmm.
Like, how much of it do you think is like, do you think there's hard age ranges when it comes to food?
Oh, absolutely. Like 90% of children and teenagers do not eat salads unless they're trying to either lose weight or stay thin. Whereas you tend to see that
Well,
a lot
no,
more
I feel like
conscious.
Zoomers have been a lot more conscious of that stuff.
I'm a millennial, so it might be a generational thing too.
Yeah,
Because
because
I
like,
do not recall seeing most people my age eating salads during lunch at high school. It was mostly like the pizza or the other stuff that was at the cafeteria, or like sandwiches and yogurt and stuff like that. Not a lot of
Oh,
salads.
once we end this topic, I've got a bone to pick about lunches.
oh my.
Oh
Shut
my!
up, Fuzzy.
I'm really just I'm becoming RTK, am I not? Is that my thing now?
Meh.
No? Yes? Maybe?
Eh.
You're
No,
becoming
okay.
our Todd.
Mm. You know what? I take issue with that. First of all, it's the Todd. Excuse me. Second of all, I mean, I don't think I'm that bad.
You're not quite. You're obviously not that bad, but you are the one making all the innuendo jokes in your endo.
I mean,
I have never been able to say that word without adding innuendo on afterwards. Never. Since hearing that joke, I have never been able to. Just physically impossible for me.
it really says something when the word is an endo of the Innu variety.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Anyway, can I get on to my
We'll
rant?
Yes, please. That's what we're here for.
Okay. So you guys probably know Jamie Oliver. You guys know him, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Oliver, I'm trying to remember who that is.
He's the British healthy food guy.
Not ringing any bells.
Either way,
Yeah, go on, Mill.
it doesn't matter. All you have to know is that he is very much high on healthy food, and he started his campaign to get healthier lunches in schools. When I was but a wee lad, I believe I was probably 7 or 8. I was just in junior school.
So the
And that mother.
Michelle Obama equivalents
Mm.
in England.
And that motherfucker made it so that I couldn't bring in a fucking Freddo for my lunch. It was physically banned from my school that I could not bring in a fucking Freddo for lunch.
Mill? Yes.
A Freddo for the people that are unaware is just a little bar of chocolate in the shape of a frog.
Huh.
Wow, that's just a dick move.
You don't let kids bring chocolate? What the fuck?
Yes! Thank you!
Yeah, that's just a dick move on so many levels.
Just let the kids have their cavities and sweets.
It's like this part of growing up.
Yeah, so
Chocolate isn't even that bad for you at that age.
yeah, so basically any Michelle Obama comparison is completely off the table at this point.
Yeah, no, Michelle Obama was pushing for healthier meals, but she was not pushing for like banning fucking chocolates.
Yeah, definitely.
That's just
So
evil.
I have forever held a grudge against that motherfucker.
I mean,
Right,
I hold
would
I
as
hold
well.
grudges for a while, like a long time. He is one of the oldest names on my list.
Okay,
Yeah, I do not blame you.
Mm-hmm.
okay, so okay, so if that's the rant, I just throw out just one last fictional trope to play with:
Go on.
food abominations and the people that create them. Discuss.
Oh, the purple goop.
No.
Oh, oh no, no, no.
Are we going to
No,
talk
no.
about Boyle?
Fucking.
I mean,
Fucking
my
hell.
favorite one is, I mean, just that entire scene, but the episode where Adrian Pimento is introduced, and so Boyle tries to make a traditional Kazakhstani stew. I mean, it's not really an abomination, but it's just fucking hilarious because the first joke is that he bought the cooker or the pot or whatever from Kazakhstan, which means he is now on a terrorist watch list, and Homeland Security has been to his house. But
okay.
the other one is that the pot literally explodes. And Terry Crews just goes full fucking ham on it.
I mean, to be fair, does Terry Crews ever not go full ham?
I fucking
Fair
love
point.
Eric. He's great.
Fair point. He is great, but it's especially hilarious because he fucking goes, I'm not going out in a stew-making accident. Terry's either gonna die saving the president, or Terry's never gonna die!
I do. I love Terry Crews. I mean, he does
Terry
just play
Crews is
himself
fantastic.
in every property he's in.
Yeah, but he does
He
it so
especially
well.
does it in Brooklyn Nine-Nine because they literally just wrote the part for him.
Just like, why?
Yep. That's
Fucking
about
love
right.
it.
Yep.
I love Terry Crews. I love him so much. Terry loves yogurt as well.
He do be loving that yogurt though.
Yeah. Oh god. Oh. As I said, it's not. I mean, it would have probably become an abomination, but it wasn't one at that point when it exploded.
So I feel like we have to address the old elephant in the room.
Hmm.
The anime purple food.
Oh
hell.
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Whenever a character who's bad at cooking tries to cook, and it produces the horrendous abomination that is that.
Mm.
So
I feel like media has become sort of self-aware of the having a woman be the best cook in a group, and is now trying to go the other way and saying,
but the problem is that they've
look, a woman who's a
overcompensated.
terrible cook.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. That's the problem, is that they've overcompensated.
They have absolutely overcompensated.
Yeah.
I mean, the one that really comes to mind in terms of cooking abominations is in Friends, Rachel's trifle, I believe it is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She puts beef in.
Yeah, basically the pages of the cookbook stuck together, so it was half the trifle and half a shepherd's pie.
Yeah. I mean, admittedly,
That's
I would
an
probably
actual funny-
enjoy that beef trifle.
But like, yeah, we at the same time though, it's kind of like
having it be just like the woman is bad at cooking. Haha, how unfeminine is she? Is kind of also sexist in its
yeah,
own
it's
way.
it's inherently
Oh, it
like
absolutely
it's
is.
sexist whichever way you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. If it's like if it's not playing on how unfeminine she is, or if it's just like, oh, this character is good at everything, but they're an absolute garbage chef. That's funny because it's like,
Mhm.
oh, their one area of the one area where they are deficient in is actually kind of an essential life skill, but they're good at everything else, so it's still funny because it takes them down a peg.
Yeah,
It just
Like how Shepard is bad at dancing.
it can go very, very poorly depending on how you decide to present it.
yeah,
Oh yeah, no,
Oh no!
it's all in
I'm
the
just
it's all in the execution.
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I think the Friends one did that one really well because the issue with that one was she was really trying to get it right, really following the recipe.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't notice pages stuck together, so it wasn't like she fails
Yeah.
that. It was just like, oh, pages stuck together. I was
It
too
was an
busy
unfortunate
following the
incident.
recipe,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Um,
the problem was not really with her.
Yeah.
Well, the problem was with her, but it was more that the problem was
Mm.
Yeah, it was more like gotta get the recipe
Um,
right, and then not thinking about like what was being said, you know. But I think everyone's done that in real life. That's very relatable.
mhm.
I mean,
The
it's very easy to fuck up a recipe. It's
yeah.
just so fucking easy to do that.
That
The
is
other
true.
lethal cook that I remember is again Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Santiago.
Oh yeah,
The
she's
first Thanksgiving episode where she made mashed potato with baking soda because she didn't have any salt, and they're both white powders. Obviously, they're interchangeable.
yeah. Yeah, no, they're not. They're not. At all. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
more of a joke about Santiago, like not really
Again, it is, yeah.
it's not really a joke about femininity or anything, more just like a joke of how
They
clumsy
do
Santiago
they
can be.
do that unfortunately often with Santiago. They do make jokes of that variety, of the that they really shouldn't variety.
Yeah, they've toned it down more recently though. It's more of a problem with the older seasons.
Fair enough, yeah.
I mean, if nobody else has anything to say on this topic, I have remembered a probably the funniest fan fiction I have ever read which involves Toro Deku and cooking, and genuinely, I nearly choked laughing.
Okay, you're gonna have to elaborate on
Basically,
that one.
the idea is that both Deku and Todoroki are terrible cooks. Which
See, I feel like that would not be the case for either of them.
I feel like it wouldn't be the case for Deku. It probably is the case for Todoroki. I don't think he's ever cooked for himself.
Probably not, no.
True, he does have his hot sister to do it for him.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I think the idea was that like Todoroki even asked Deku, like you live alone with your mom, or you lived alone with your mom. Shouldn't you be able to cook? Mom did most of it. I just prepared it, and it's just. But it basically culminates in Inko and All Might coming over for a meal, and Todoroki and Deku basically going completely frantic, trying to make something passable and completely failing, and eventually asking, I'm sorry, Fuzzy, Bakugo to make curry for them.
They had to Heroes Rising it, didn't they? They had to.
It doesn't
Heroes
matter.
Rising
He's not a big part of it.
Yeah, but like,
So
No,
they
we
sit
can talk more about this in
is-
like the fanfic episode.
Yeah, but the implication is obviously, of course, he's good at it. He's good at everything. Why wouldn't he?
To be fair, canonically, Bakugo is good at cooking.
Yes, that's the problem. That's why I hate him.
Whatever. Just he's not a big part of this fic. So fucking Toshinori and Inko come over and they start eating the curry, and Inko, having obviously grown up with Bakugo and knowing his cooking, goes, "Why is this Katsuki-kun's curry?" And Todoroki and Deku just like give each other a frantic glance, and Todoroki literally says in the most deadpan voice possible, oh no, I'm having an allergic reaction.
God damn it.
Like just
tracks.
sat there, just like not doing it. It just says it. It is just monotone voice, and I just genuinely nearly choked laughing at that. Just imagining it. And they somehow get away with it, even though like clearly he's not having an allergic reaction.
Fair enough.
But
I do think we're... Go ahead.
I mean,
yeah.
I was just going to say there is also like a montage, let's say, of cooking incidents between the two of them, like Todoroki going, I think it needs more heat. Fucking flames on, fucking burns it to cinders. Oh, God.
I mean,
need
if
to read
it
that again.
cooks in 20 minutes at 200 degrees, then it should cook
Oh,
in 2
no.
minutes at
The-
2000
again,
degrees.
Oh God, fucking! Now you've made me think of the fucking steamed ham skit from Simpsons.
Oh my god.
We have
Okay,
to talk about that if we're talking about food.
Yeah, but I
let's do
feel
that.
like that's better saved for the Simpsons episode.
Oh,
We
so
probably are going to have a Simpsons episode.
so
Yep.
if that one's gonna be for the Simpsons, just the use just the thing Fuzzy was saying with using putting it at the higher temperature. Oh man, that just reminds me. I don't know. I haven't thought of this show for like 20 years, but there's the Charles in Charge thing like that, where it was like it went with that, and then it was I think it was Charles in Charge, but then it was but the oven doesn't go up that high. Use 2 ovens.
God damn it!
And also,
Oh damn!
it seems fanfic really isn't in play that much. Though there is porn here. I may have to give you a homework to watch Rhett and Link reading fan fiction of themselves.
Oh, there's certainly some food porn in there, though.
Yeah,
not the kind people usually think of.
Yeah.
See, I will never touch real person fic because I'm not comfortable with that kind of stuff.
Oh no, that's the point of that episode, is that they're very uncomfortable throughout the whole thing, and that's the fun.
Yeah, they're going back and forth trying to keep a straight face when they're reading lines from fan fiction of themselves. So yeah, that last one would. Oh, there's food in there. Yeah, so really breaking the seal. But yeah, let me just give that as homework, okay?
It is worth giving a watch, if only just to see just the visceral, unpleasant uncomfortableness.
And it is better when they start getting used to it.
Yeah, since we're here for a bit anyway, we can go through steamed hams.
About 10 more minutes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't already seen it, it's a part of, I think it's 22 stories around Springfield, and it's basically Principal Skinner inviting Superintendent
Chalmers.
God damn it.
Chalmers.
No, it's not that. It's just the fact that I watched the fucking clip of Ralph calling him Super Nintendo Chalmers. And I nearly said Super Nintendo. Superintendent Chalmers over for a luncheon, as he calls it. And basically, Skinner ruins the roast he was making. I say at that point he probably still could have salvaged it, but who am I to judge? So, seeing a Krusty Burger out the window, he decides to go and buy hamburgers, basically, to pass off as his own food. It's just that as he is, stepping out of the window, in comes Chalmers and sees the smoke billowing from the oven. So Skinner improvises and says, "Oh, we're having steamed clams. Tasty steamed clams." Chalmers goes away. Skinner goes to get the burgers, brings them back, and Chalmers goes, "I thought we were having steamed clams." No, I said steamed hams. It's a regional thing, and you call them steamed even though they are obviously grilled. Give me a moment. Walks into the kitchen where there is clearly a fire. So not only did he not try and salvage the roast, he just left the fucking oven on.
Of course, why wouldn't he?
The entire time. Walks back out and goes, well, that was an enjoyable lunch, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. But it's for some reason Skinner has one of those like fucking like tavern doors that swings both ways to his kitchen.
Because of course he does.
And so Chalmers, I mean, this part isn't to do with food, but it's just so hilarious that Chalmers sees the fire and goes, good lord, what is going on in there? Skinner just clearly without thinking goes, Aurora Borealis. Aurora Borealis.
That's
at this
very
time
specific.
of day, at this time of year, located entirely within your kitchen. Yes. Can I see it? No. It's just, oh god.
Yeah.
It's
So, with that wonderful piece of pop culture history, I believe it's time for us to end our show for the day.
Yep.
That said, tomorrow we may or may not be doing some Mungus.
Yes, Mungus.
because we want to jump on the latest trend.
I mean, we're a bit late for that. I think
We
we've
are a
missed
bit
it.
late, but it is still the current trend, I would say.
It's still trending.
It's trendy, but the thing is, there's like when people like AOC and Jagmeet Singh are playing Among Us, we don't really stand much of a chance in the algorithm.
It
I
doesn't
mean, we
matter. We can
don't,
still
but
play it.
I mean, yeah, I joke that we are playing it to be trendy. We're playing it because we want to play it. And
Also,
like,
funny enough, that was a fun stream yesterday. Was Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, who I'm sure everyone's familiar with, and Jagmeet Singh, who is the leader of Canada's National Democratic Party, were playing Among Us with streamers, and it was just a bit of a surreal experience. And they were really good sports about it.
Yeah.
It's just like Jagmeet Singh is a bit like older than everyone else, and so he doesn't get all the references, but there was just a certain level of wholesome joy that only happens when you... Yes?
Did they get him to a woo?
I actually don't know. I didn't watch the entire stream, but there's a non-zero chance that they would. But someone had to... But I believe AOC had to explain Elo Hell to him from her experiences playing League of Legends, and that was just a conversation I never thought I'd hear.
All we
is a U.S.
Bernie
congresswoman
play Among Us.
Yeah, so a U.S. congresswoman explaining to the leader of one of the three major political parties in Canada what Elo Hell is in the context of League of Legends. So,
damn it, Jack! Why couldn't you have made her president?
Because she's still too young.
Which is a BS rule, by the way.
Yeah, minimum age is 35, so she couldn't run until...
It's 45, isn't it?
Nope, 35.
Huh. That was 45.
Anyway,
we're gonna be playing Mungus tomorrow, but we sadly have not been able to get our hands on any major politicians. If we could get Bernie on, we would. I don't think we have the reach
have
for
his
that
number,
right
unfortunately. I think I lost it in the wash, so I'm so sorry about that, guys.
It's always a shame, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I think I left it in my other SIM card. In 1994. So anyway, thank you for joining us.
I was trying to get Ed Miliband, but he stopped talking to me after I made a joke about a bacon sandwich. So, which is only a joke people familiar with early 2010s British politics would understand.
Anyways, that is our stream.
Yes, so thank you for joining us as we just rant about food and hopefully make you all hungry. I know I'm hungry and I would like to eat food now, but we will see you guys hopefully tomorrow for some Among Us, but otherwise, we'll see you for our regularly scheduled programming. Thank you for joining us, Mill. Thank you. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Logstar. And please don't hurt us, Abomination in the corner. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.